All right, everyone, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. We have a pretty fun 4-game slate here for you guys on Thursday. Let's go ahead and get into it. So guys, with it being a 4-game slate, we are able to do a quick game-by-game breakdown here for you guys. So we got the Pacers versus the Charlotte Hornets. We do know that the bigs are still going to be out there for the Pacers, but we are actually going to see Jay Huff is projected to start in this game, which is a little bit interesting there, projected for 21 minutes. So kind of interesting there. And then we look at Charlotte, guys. Diaby is expected back here. Brandon Miller, I'm also expecting back. He sat out on the front end of a back-to-back, which kind of makes this kind of an interesting game. The nice part about this slate, guys, is all the games are at least decently high scoring or are projected to stay close. Basically, it's a very appealing game in that regard. No blowouts, high scoring games. I like that. So let's go ahead and start out here with the Pacers, guys. I actually do like a decent amount of the plays here in this game in general, but also for the Pacers specifically. Like Jay Huff, if he does end up getting 21 projected minutes, he could actually end up getting more than that. He is very appealing at 4.2 in this solid matchup here against the Charlotte Hornets. Walker is always something that kind of pops up as a value. And honestly, for this slate specifically, priced at 3.2, I actually think he's more in play today than he is on other slates. So I think we could begin to him. And really, guys, Siakam's in play, Naismith's in play. I really like Andrew Nembhard as a play today, projected for 33 minutes. I do like the idea of stacking this game here as well in general. So kind of a decent spot here in general for the Pacers. And then for Charlotte as well, not as much in play, but Diaby is probably a poorly priced. He should be able to, if he's get 32 minutes, he has a decent chance to end up getting a double-double, end up liking that a decent amount. Sexton's an okay value. I don't necessarily love it, but also don't hate it. Khan is someone I think will end up having a better game today after coming in off of kind of a poor night in the previous night. So he's someone that's a little bit more in play for me tonight as well. And so the only issue that I have here with this game is, again, I do kind of like playing Diaby and Jay Huff. And I mean, it's fine if we can just play Jay Huff in the power forward spot. That's nice. But I do like some of the bigs a little bit later on, and so that could make it a little bit tighter. But overall, I think that's the correct approach. And then again, I do like Andrew Nembhard kind of the most. Oh, he's popping up as questionable. This is interesting. So this just happened. If he were to sit, that would benefit Siakam a little bit more. Naismith would be better. Obviously, TJ McConnell would become a much better click. Basically, everyone would become a little bit of a better play there for Indiana. So that's interesting. I still like Nembhard if he actually ends up playing, though. So just be on the lookout for that. So we jump on into Miami versus Chicago, guys. Now, this is another kind of interesting spot here where Chicago, Kobe White's currently questionable. I do expect him to play in this game. He probably will still be limited, but the player that's out, Jalen Smith, that actually matters a decent amount, I think. Josh Giddey still has Zach Collins out. So Matis has actually been someone that's playing at the power forward. And then you have Okoro starting. Kobe White could be starting, but I think AO's still in play. Hawkes, guys, for Heat is expected to play, but this is a higher scoring game, 7.5 point spread, 238 game total. So we like that there as well. And so again, we look at some of the value that we're getting. I think Matis is actually a very strong value for us on this slate. I like AO, but he's kind of priced correctly. I don't mind Trey Jones. I think he's priced kind of correctly coming in finally off of a good game. Okoro would have been someone, if the data was telling us to be on, I would have been on. And so I just think we're looking at Matis the most here. And I think that ends up being a very solid play for us overall. Don't mind Vooch, but also feels like he's correctly priced. And then we jump on into Miami, guys. So for Miami, I'm not touching Davion Mitchell. He seems to be someone that's the data always likes more than really I do. So I'm just not getting to him. And then from there, I think everyone else is kind of correctly priced. Although I do like Bam. I think Bam is in a good matchup, higher scoring game. They are 7-point favorites. Great chance for him to get a double-double. I think he's a strong play, but I think overall we're just trying to get to the other side of this game with Chicago and Matis. And so I'll put him into the power forward spot. Again, we're eating up another power forward spot already. Then we jump on into Cleveland versus Minnesota. And so for Cleveland, guys, Tyson is currently questionable. I mean, really, the players that are questionable doesn't really change much for me. And then you look at Minnesota, they're pretty healthy. So close game, high scoring game, we love that there. Donovan Mitchell is back tonight, just as an FYI. And again, just kind of searching by value, there's not too much there, although I don't hate the idea of getting to some of the pieces here. They're all kind of correctly priced for Cleveland. None of them are bad plays, though. They're all fine. Basically, same thing here for Minnesota, guys, where everyone's kind of just correctly priced, but I think they're quality plays, especially in this game that not only is high scoring, but also a close game. Maybe this game goes into OT, and this ends up being the optimal approach, is just loading up on this game. The issue is everyone is basically just correctly priced. And then we jump into Utah versus Dallas. So, guys, I actually do like this spot a decent amount here. Kevin Love currently listed as day-to-day. Let's see the news on him. Is he expected to play? Yeah, we don't really know. I'm kind of expecting him to play, back end of back-to-back. And then we look at Dallas guys. PJ Washington's actually currently listed as day-to-day. And we also have Brandon Williams listed as day-to-day. PJ Washington not expected to play. Brandon Williams currently projected to play. And so I actually think Brandon Williams benefits a decent amount with PJ Washington being off the court. But if Washington's also out, then we're looking at Christie to be solid. Flay becomes better. Davis becomes better. And so let's start out here with Dallas, guys. So Dallas, we're seeing Anthony Davis, Brandon Williams, Najee Marshall, all very good values. Cooper Flagg, a great value. And like all of them, they're all good plays. Like on a 4-game slate, I might be getting to 4 Dallas plays. Now, I kind of would rank it Davis, Flagg, and then probably Brandon Williams, but Gafford's certainly in play. Projected for 21 minutes. Christie, some of that could certainly go off. If Williams is out, we're just looking at Christie there as well. So that's kind of the tough part about Dallas is they're all great plays, okay? Then we go on and flip it to Utah. Obviously, we like this game. High game total, 7-point spread. Not too worried about a blowout. Keontae George is someone that could easily go off. Marketing is someone that could easily go off. No one's going to necessarily be a great value here, but if we're loading up on Dallas, obviously we want to run it back with Utah, and Marketing and George are kind of the easy clicks there if you're doing that. So I really like the missed payups as well, especially running it back there. And so let's go ahead and try to kind of close out the builds here. And so again, I do like Anthony Davis there, putting him into the power forward spot. And again, this is kind of the issue. Can't get to Lauri Markkanen then. Flagg, we can play in the small forward spot. I'm okay with that. Again, I like Keontae George. If we can play him, I do think we should be doing that. For what it's worth, guys, I don't hate the idea of like Isaiah Collier or even Walter Clayton, but also don't necessarily feel like we need to get to those plays as much so. Again, for Dallas, Marshall's going to be someone that's popping up a decent amount. He's fine. I personally like Brandon Williams a little bit more. We'll put him in the guard spot, and that leaves us about 4.7 left over for the shooting guard spot. I'm actually kind of fine getting to Max Christie there and or Najee. Well, we can't get to Najee Marshall. Who else can we get to at the shooting guard spot at this price tag? Sexton's okay. He's someone that really pops, actually. It's literally, I might make 2 builds here, one with Sexton, one with Christie, and be okay with it. Like, that's it. Now, Furphy could end up being a decent value if Andrew Nembhard ends up sitting, but like this is a pretty solid build overall. Again, for a 4-game slate, I decently like this build. And then let's go ahead and see what the 9-5 lineup builder is giving us here, as well as the top builds. Sexton, Marshall, Flagg, Markkanen, Huff, Mitchell, and interesting Naismith, Diaby. So kind of interesting there, and it's going to hold that theme there. So kind of along the same lines, but a little bit different. Okay, and I actually like this slate because it's kind of easier to predict, but also there are little deviations you can make with a potential lineup decision that'll be a big difference for you on the slate. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Leave a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. If you guys would like access to the NBA DraftKings cheat sheet or the NBA DFS lineup optimizer, make sure to head on over to 9to5sports.com to get access to all the tools on the website for a low monthly cost of $10 a month. And thank you guys for watching. And as always, let's keep cashing.